Well, hi there. Welcome to Moonboy Mondays, where we go over all the guys and girls on YouTube who go like this and this. And then they put like, hey, we're going to 100x or we're going to die tomorrow. So grab your coffee and let's dive into it. I don't know if you've heard of this guy. This is MM Crypto, and he's going to give us some great advice about how we can either make or lose a lot of money. And I'll let you decide which one that is.
Okay, for the Bitcoin price. And yes, guys, most people don't know that what is happening right
I don't know. Can you please let me know what's going on? Because I really, really do want to know.
now for Bitcoin and in the cryptocurrency space will go down in the history books. This is what's happening right now is something in the future we will look back to and say, wow, that was it. That was the moment.
Wow. Someday we'll look back and say, oh, I can't even, man. Like, where even is this guy? Like, is he in Bali? Like, he's got these beads on him. Did he just come back from the beach? Is he surfing? Like, I don't get, he's got a tan. This guy has to live in Bali. Why does this guy have the background of the UI for your phone? Like, you can see video, cinematic. Like, he didn't remove that aspect. It's just so lazy. What's going on, man? I want to know.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about my own trade, of course. Do I have any new plans with it? 10 million US dollar trade.
What was that? What's going on?
Am I going to take profits? When are we going to finally reach the price targets, which I'm going to mention in this video and much more? Today's video is very crucial. It's a very short one.
Oh my God. How long can you say the same thing over and over? Is this important? Is this not? Like, what are you even talking about, man? Get to it. Like, we're a minute into this video and you haven't told me anything.
Nevertheless, a very important one. Let's talk here quickly about the Bitcoin price, about the crazy technicals which are actually happening here. And we are having this very legitimate pennant, this symmetrical triangle, which of course I already told you before, it's a continuation pattern. We are having a 70% likelihood to break towards the upside, and we got here something like a break yesterday on Monday. And you also know that my price target, actually I want to show it to you in a second, is way higher than where we are right now. You can see another condition has to be fulfilled. We need to bounce from the previous resistance, which is then turning into...
Okay, this is true, right? If you break out of a pattern in technical analysis, you're supposed to retest the trend line. This is fair to gain support to go on.
If we are doing so and breaking above the previous high of approximately 72,800, and only then, only then,
only then, what is this guy like? Is he on drugs? Is this guy on steroids? Is he okay? Can someone go check in his house if he's okay? I'm really not sure. Holy shit.
Once we are doing that, dear ladies and gentlemen, this is when we...
It's just so lazy, man. This guy can't even go to his computer and set up a program where he has a webcam. You could just use the webcam from his laptop to point on him while he's talking about this. But he's minimizing the camera setting on his phone, switching between to his Bybit account. I just can't even.
We are looking at this a beautiful price target to come into place, and I really want to make it very clear that we need to fulfill these conditions first. And I also want to quickly remind you that the Bitcoin halving is coming up, and yes, we might get this price target, which I want to talk about just in a second. We need a sideways consolidation. This is potentially the last pump we can see, now the pump in the next potential pump in the next 2 weeks, we can see here before summer.
I mean, what he's saying is not far off from the truth, right? We've gone up a long way since for a year, right? A year of upside, and we haven't really consolidated to gain more momentum to go on a further bull run.
Actually a shakeout. The breakout target is 84,500. This is what I'm looking out for. This is where I want to take profits. And if you do want to be trading as well, like I'm doing it here over on Bybit.
Can you just put it vertically? Like, come on, man. Are you even trying? What is that? Do you want me to turn my head? Come on.
$8 million in a profit, $1 million in a profit. I mean, crazy, $1.8 million already taken. I think $10.8 million US dollars realized and unrealized profits together. If you want to be trading as well, in the pinned comment down below,
I get you. That's why you put it sideways. Because nobody's gonna look. Nobody's gonna look sideways to see, oh, this guy traded and made $1 million. Oh, if you want to make $10 million, come join me. So if you take a look, it actually does say that he made $920,000. But how can we verify that this was him, right? This is the whole point, is this could be anyone's account. And I'd like to know more. I'm very skeptical that, first of all, he's trading that much money and that he's always making this much money. I don't know. Gotta say it. So now it's time to rate Crypto in his brilliant trading expertise. And I'm going to have to give him a 2 out of 10. Now, my reasons for this are, first of all, where's your shirt? Second of all, I think that he's really trying to show that we're going to have a massive blow off top when clearly that didn't happen. And obviously, I can read the future. This was posted 5 days ago. So his take was wrong. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. Lastly, I think he was way too preoccupied with his phone to even know what's going on with Bitcoin. So I don't trust his advice. I don't think you should either. And for our last video, we have the one and only Carl Moon, who is known for being a bit dodgy and trading. So let's see what he has to say.
Bitcoin is right now...
What was that? Why did he do that? Did he just forget his phone on the counter? And then he's like, oh shit, I'm actually making a video. Bitcoin
falling. We do have a lot of articles coming out right now stating that war has begun. Obviously, that is the main reason for the Bitcoin dump. I will, however, talk about Bitcoin and how these headlines are affecting the price right now, because as you can see, Bitcoin is right now falling.
So historically speaking, yes, war does affect the markets quite heavily, and usually people buy gold.
It is very, very obvious that just after that, we saw a massive dump here. So if you go on the 1 hour chart, you can see that immediately, unfortunately, I was in an airplane, so I was not able to actually make any trade. Now, what strikes me very interestingly here,
again,
that this comes exactly 4 years after the COVID dump.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say, this is not a dump for Bitcoin. Are we really going to say that the all-time high is 72,000 and we go down to like 60,000, we call that a massive dump? Bitcoin's dumped like 60%, over 60%, a huge capitulation, right? The COVID dump was massive. The price went from like what? I think it was like 10 or 8,000 to all the way down to like 3,000. Maybe just a coincidence that it's at the same time.
There was this massive initial dump of Bitcoin where Bitcoin went from like 11K down to 3K in a matter of days. That was insane. And that was just before the halving. And then, remember what happened? Bitcoin absolutely skyrocketed. So, what do we learn from history?
Again, where, like seriously, Crypto, Carl Moon, these guys must never be at their home, right? This guy's in a hotel or something. Why? Like, come on, man. Just hook it up so that you can put yourself on a webcam. Why are you recording on your phone?
When Bitcoin dumps because of news that fundamentally has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin could even go lower here. It's not technical analysis. It's just what it is. It is what it is. Remember COVID? There was no TA in the world that could tell you that Bitcoin would go to 3.8K.
He's right. It was a random crash and there was no way to predict this. All you can do is hopefully have some money on the side to be able to pick some up. Not financial advice, though.
This is a black swan.
Wait, sorry? Did he call this? Is he calling this a black swan? Black swan events is exactly what I was saying. When he said it went from 11,000 to 3,000, that is like an over 60% collapse and decline in the price of Bitcoin. That is a black swan event. You almost lose your breath because the price goes down so far. And if you think Bitcoin went down a lot, all those altcoins you like, that shitcoin bag you have, those are all going down way further. We're talking about what? 70, 80, maybe even 90%.
Personally, I'm looking for a short right now. I'm just looking for Bitcoin to bounce up a little bit more here.
Another thing that is interesting is he said he's shorting when in a bull market for crypto, you almost never want to short because you can just be taken out so quickly. This is really, really risky advice.
Here, obviously, I missed the initial dump because of The fact that I was in an airplane with no Wi-Fi.
Blaming the flight. Come on. Okay, first of all, if this guy was serious, right? If Carl Moon was serious, every plane that you go on, you can buy Wi-Fi, right? I can't remember a time where I've seen there's no Wi-Fi allowed on a plane. It's always purchasable. If he's making all this money on his courses and a successful trader, a serious trader, you think that he's not going to buy Wi-Fi to be able to set up this trade? It just makes no sense.
A link down below, and if you use my link, you get $68,000 in bonus, which is incredible. And don't forget,
$68,000 in bonus? What is that nonsense?
I'll show you right here. You go here to redeem now, and then you can, for example, claim these things: Apple Vision Pro for free, or Gucci bag if you want.
Can you imagine if you sign up to a platform and all you needed to do was go on every day and get free points, and they give you a Gucci bag or an Apple Vision Pro?
If you have USDT laying on the sidelines waiting for a dip, here's the dip. And you can, instead of buying everything today, I would not suggest that. I would put maybe a 5-week buying period, and you buy every day or every week.
It's not the worst advice.
Or maybe 10 weeks or 30 weeks. It's up to you, really.
I think you should do 5. No, 10. No, 30. No, you decide.
Doesn't actually fundamentally impact Bitcoin. In fact, it even, on the contrary, it shows how resilient Bitcoin is, because Bitcoin is usable when there is global turmoil.
I'm glad that he's saying this. You know, as much that I'm, shitting on him for making these videos and these pump videos, trying to get people to sign up with links, at least he's supporting Bitcoin and the fact that Bitcoin, the fundamentals are not broken. There may be war, but the war doesn't impact the stability of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is always there. Bitcoin can be used in times of crisis and times of good times. I can't think of a word.
In fact, I think this might be the best time to buy Bitcoin in the history of Bitcoin.
Did he just say that this is the best time to ever buy Bitcoin? You want to know when the best time to buy Bitcoin was? When it was fucking created. When it was $1 for a Bitcoin, or how about $100? Hey, how about even $10,000? We're at $63,000 right now, and you think that the best time to buy Bitcoin is now? What are you talking about, man? What are you smoking?
Or actually, probably the best time was, of course, COVID. Let's say this is the second best.
So now you clarify COVID, which was $3,000. The best time, obviously, was a long, long time ago. You know, it was created in 2009. So I don't get what you're on about here, Moon Carl.
Such a clear black swan.
Dude, it's not a black swan. So it's time to give Moon Carl a rating here for his accuracy in the market. And I think we can give him a solid 5 out of 10. Seems like Moon Carl, he thinks Bitcoin's strong. I agree. I don't agree that he wants to short after he missed a clear shorting opportunity because of Wi-Fi. Don't follow his advice, because I don't want you to lose money. Don't short in a bull market. That is the easiest way to get liquidated, in my opinion. So what do you think? Is Bitcoin going to hit 84,000, or should we short the market because it's a black swan event, like Carl Moon says? And are Bitcoin fundamentals still intact for another bull run? Let me know in the comments down below. And thanks for liking, subbing, and subscribing. I'll see you next week for another episode of Moonboy Mondays.